Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you for your patience. We wanted to be sure that the ASL interpretation was up and running and visible to everyone. People are still trickling in, so we're going to just give a few more seconds here for people to settle. And as you are able, we welcome you to introduce yourself in the chat and say where you're coming in from. And so as people are trickling in, I'll begin introducing myself. I am Kathleen Bogart. I'm one of the leaders of DARN, and I'm here to kick off our very first conference led by DARN, and I think perhaps the first conference on teaching about disability in psychology. Let's see, are people able to see my slides?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. So, welcome to Abnormal No More, a DARN conference on incorporating disability into the teaching of psychology. So, I want to tell you a little bit about DARN and how we got to this place. So, first, I want to start with some housekeeping. So, captions are enabled, so you can turn them on for yourself if you would like them or leave them off. And ASL interpretation is available. You should see the interpreter highlighted on your screen. In a few weeks, recordings will be available on darndisability.org. And then we welcome you to answer or ask questions in the Q&A section during talks. And if you have big burning questions or questions that haven't yet been answered, we invite you to enter them into our anonymous form. And you can see a QR code here that will help you access that form. And one of my co-hosts, Carolyn, will also put that in the chat. When people are speaking, for those who are on panels, let's use some good disability etiquette and say your name before speaking so people are able to keep track of who is talking. So, what is DARN? DARN stands for the Disability Advocacy Research Network, and it's for psychologists and students with disabilities or who focus on disability. And DARN was founded in September 2021 by me, Lisa Aspinwall, and Afrouz Gamadi. We were originally funded by the Society for Personality and Social Psychology, and that made us their disability affinity group. Now we are open to all psychology sub areas, and we're growing even beyond that to social sciences. So, what is DARN? We try to be very inclusive of disability and follow a social model perspective. So that means anyone who identifies as disabled or is viewed by others as having a disability, we consider them to indeed have a disability. So this includes kind of the disabilities that the general public might immediately picture, like people who use wheelchairs or who have other visible disabilities. But it also includes less stereotypical disabilities and things we might not historically have thought of as disabilities, but very much do deserve to be included in this group if they would like to be. So that includes cognitive disabilities, invisible disabilities, chronic illnesses, and mental health conditions. And Here at Darn, we facilitate community building, mentoring, professional development, and resource sharing. And we're really excited that over a little over 2 years, we've grown to over 370 members. So I want to share with you some of the services and resources that we offer. They can be found at our website, darndisability.org. And we have a database that anyone can add to where you can place your name and really create a community directory where you can indicate if you are looking for mentorship or would like to be a mentor, and find people with similar research and teaching interests as you. We also have a living document of resources on our website that anyone can add to. We post about events like this one, and we also have a blog that we invite our community members to contribute to. And if you ever are interested in writing, say, a short blog post about your story, or summarizing research, or summarizing an important advocacy issue, please let us know. We have 3 subgroups in Darn. Our first subgroup is the teaching subgroup, and this group itself is what undergirded the development of this conference. We also have a research subgroup, and this group focuses on supporting research about disability, collaborating, and we're currently working on a review paper that assesses how disability is described and whether it is measured in social psychology research. And then finally, we have a very new subgroup for health service providers. So these are clinical psychologists, counseling psychologists, or school psychologists, or students who are interested in going into that field. So how do you get involved? Well, join us. It's free. The main way to join us is to join our Google group, and we'll post the links to that in the chat. And you can also join whatever subgroup might interest you, and those are separate Google groups within our organization. We have quarterly virtual meetings via Zoom, and the next quarterly meeting is actually next Friday, so a week from today. And we'll post the links here for how you can get connected with that meeting. I want to heartily thank and acknowledge the Conference Planning Committee, which is made up of people in the Darn Teaching subgroup. So co-directors are Dr. Carolyn Shivers, who you will be seeing later, and me. And our committee includes Lisa Aspinwall, Georgia Tanya Kirilalu, Nicole Rosa, and Lisa Rubin. And we thank our conference sponsors who graciously gave us grants to make this conference as accessible as possible. So that is the Society for Teaching of Psychology and the Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. And here we have the links to these websites. We really encourage people, if they're not familiar with these organizations, to check out their websites and consider becoming members. The Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues, or SPISSY, is a wonderful organization that focuses on psychology work that can affect social policy, real-world ramifications, and social justice issues. And the Society for the Teaching of Psychology focuses, of course, on the art and science of teaching about psychology to our students. And I have one final announcement, and that is our teaching subgroup of Darn is editing a special issue of the Teaching of Psychology. on teaching about disability. So I really hope that many attendees today and many of our esteemed presenters will consider submitting a manuscript on this topic. I think this is probably the time when people are most, we have a cluster of people who are potentially the most interested in this topic. So we really encourage people to inquire or submit to this journal article issue thing. Okay, well, thank you so much. That is kind of what I wanted to share about DARN.